The Nightingale sang another song, even more lovely than the first. Then she flew back to her home in the forest. Everyone in the court agreed that the nightingale's singing had been a great success. Indeed, no one could speak of anything else. Some noble young ladies even tried to imitate the Nightingale's song by putting water in their mouths and gabbling. The emperor announced that the nightingale was to have a place at court. She would have gold cage of her own, and 12 servants to wait on her hand and foot. So the nightingale sang for the court every night, and everyone lived that her song was the most wonderful in all the world. One day, the emperor received a large parcel from the emperor of Japan. This parcel had these words written on it in large gold letters: The Nightingale. This must be another book about our wonderful bird, thought the emperor as he opened the parcel. But instead, there was an artificial nightingale inside, made of gold and studded with precious gems. When this nightingale was wound up, it sang like the real nightingale and bobbed its tail up and down in time to the music. How beautiful it is! Everyone in the court explained. Have it seen with the real nightingale, and we'll have a duet. So the two birds sang together, but not very well. The artificial bird could only sing the same tune over and over, while the real nightingale sang in a different way each time. What pretty, regular music the gold nightingale makes, said the court music master. Most refreshing, the, con- the courtiers all agreed, and insisted that the artificial nightingale be allowed to sing alone. So the gold nightingale sang. The entire court said that it sang as well as a real bird. It's so much prettier to look at, they whispered, admiring the golden bird's sparkling wings. So they would it up, and it sang the same song 33 times in a row. They would have happily listened to it again too, when the emperor declared that the real nightingale must be allowed to sing. The country looked for the real nightingale, but she was gone. She had flown out the window and back to her home in the forest. Such an ungrateful bird, sniffed the countries. But never mind, we have the best nightingale right here. After that, the real nightingale was banished from the kingdom. Then the artificial bird was put in a gold cage beside the emperor's throne. Every evening the court gathered to hear it sing. A year passed. The gold nightingale sang every night. Everyone knew its song by heart, but this made them like it all the more, since they could all sing along. Then, one evening, the emperor wound up the gold nightingale as usual, but instead of singing, it made a strange, whirring noise. The gold nightingale was broken. The emperor called to him all the kingdom's best watchmakers. They, ex- they examined the bird carefully and tinkered with inside until they managed to make it work again. But the bird's springs were worn out. The watchmakers told the emperor the gold nightingale could sing only once a year at the most. This made everyone at the court very sad. 5 years passed, and the world's grief fell upon the kingdom. The emperor grew ill and seemed certain to die. His people, who loved their emperor, were truly sorry, and it seemed that there was nothing they could do. The emperor lay in his royal bedroom. He was so still and pale that everyone in the court believed he'd die at any moment. All the lords and ladies in waiting acted as though he were already dead or and hurried to pay their respect to his successor.